So if in Java, let's say you have these variables declared, okay, and I want you to display this message. I want you all to display this message. So how will you all display this? Any guesses? One way of doing it is you can concatenate. Wherever there will be a, so this will be a string. So wherever there is a variable which you have to inject, like over here, Alice is S name. So what you have to do, break this string, concatenate, and then again continue like this. Okay, my name is concatenate string. I am again 18 is come over here. What will you do again? Double quote at either side and concatenate with which variable? Age. And here 5.10 again, double quote on either side and plus and plus. And then what will you put over here? Which variable? We'll put the height variable. One way of doing it is this way. So let's save it and run it. Let's say if it gives me the desired output. My name is Alice. I'm 18 years old. My height is this. Okay. So it's showing 5.1. I said 5.10. Okay. So better way of doing it is you can use the string.format function. So better way of doing this is you take the original string and you paste it and you use the string.format function. String.format. So this is a function. Now wherever you want to substitute, put the placeholders percentage %s, percentage %d, and percentage %f. And how many decimals you want? Two decimals. So you can say 0.2f. And after this double quote, now give the variable name. First will be s name, second will be age, and third will be height. So you can save all this. I'll comment this, change the name, and let's check if everything works fine. Okay, my name is Ben. I'm an anti. This is much more cleaner way of writing or displaying string using the string.format function. So one usage of this function is to display a string which is having parameters, and you can also invoke a function over here. So if let's say I have a function over here which gives me the age. If I have a function over here which returns me the age, so I can directly call the get age function over here. This also, I'll copy this over here so that when I publish the code, you'll have all the syntaxes. You can copy the, you can call a function also over here, but that function should return something. That function should be returning something. So we can do this also. Right click, run as Java. See, okay, it's returning 21. So it is showing me over here 21. Okay, and let's try to do, let's try one more stunt. I hope you all understand what I'm trying to achieve now over here. One of the other best practices is when we are trying to display, normally what we do is we write a function, okay, and let's say this function will get me a string. So this function will get me a string, remember this, and this function will return this string. The function will return you a string. So what we can do, the third style is, which we use a lot in the real-time development. Here we will call that function which will give me the string, which is that is this function. So get string function, this will give me a string. So whichever that function returns is a string which is having parameters, and then we can substitute the parameters over here, and if one of the parameters is also from a function, then we can call that also from a function over here. So s name was hard coded over here, height was hard coded over here. Let's say age was the other function which is going to return some value, so we can call that value also. Okay, and if these are stored in some constant files, okay, if these are stored in some string constants like we are doing over here, so public static final means it cannot be modified. Okay, so if you are doing like this, then you can refer it directly from here also. So from where are we getting the s name? So you can comment it now. From where are we getting the s name from? From the string constant dot string constant dot s name, and the height we are getting from string constant dot height. Now if these are, why is it showing an error over here? Okay, it's showing error because now we have commented these, no? So let's give it some new variables, name one, height one. That's why it is causing a problem. So we can use name one, height one, name one, height one. This should be fine. So the string also will be written by a function, and the placeholders are there inside the string, and with the variable which we will substitute with the placeholders you can give over here. So they can be hard coded directly, or you can store them into variable names, or store them into separate class. Now as this is a final variable, ideally it should have been capital, and if it is having two words, then we give underscore between that. So this is the real way of doing it. Dot student name dot student height. This is what the format function will be used a lot in your real-time development. Okay. One more very important issue of the format function is yes, yes. This one is the better. This is the best. So in real time, if you can get hold of how I did this and have a habit of doing this one, this should be really appreciated. So especially those who are going to show 3-4 years of experience as developers, for them this would be the ideal way of your print statements and write function which are returning a string, and that string, if it needs to be substituted by some data, in the string only you can put the placeholders like this. So those who have understood line number 7, that would be the ideal scenario. Okay. Okay. Now one more very important usage of the format function is, let's have I shown you all the format function to display the data in proper alignment. We will do it in the first session. So if you have gone to a shop, and let's say you go to a supermarket and you uh, buy a tie. The tie costs you, let's say, 500. You also buy a belt. Belt costs you, let's say, 700. You also buy some trousers. Trousers cost you, let's say, 1500. Okay, then the total will be how much? 22, 2700, right? So would you want the bill to be displayed like this? This is the option A I am giving you all. Or do you want the bill to be printed like this as option B? Okay. That we will reserve some space for the product name like this. So which option would you prefer? A or B? Option B. So how many characters have I reserved for the product name? How many are there in trousers? 8, right? 9 and 10, right? So I have reserved how many characters for the product name? How many characters? 10, 10, right? Because trouser has 8 and then 2 characters, 10. And where are they being displayed? Towards the left or towards which alignment? Left alignment, right alignment? Okay, see, I'll show you one more example. What if you want it like this? That reserve 10 spaces but start displaying from the right side. Means it will reserve 10 spaces but it will display like this. So this also is reserving 10 spaces, but the alignment is towards the right side, right? Correct. The empty spaces are towards the left. Okay. So this also, how many spaces reserved for tie? 10 spaces, right? But where is tie printed? Towards the left or towards the right? Right. Here, here also 10 spaces are reserved for tie, but where is the tie displayed? Towards the left or right? So this is your left alignment, correct? This is your left alignment, and this is your right alignment. So we can do that also if we can understand the format function. Alignment. So let's try to do this. So let's try to display this case. Let's try to display this one. So okay. So I'm just doing it over here itself. Then we can always refactor it, or we can write a function over here. So first, what do we have to display? Product name, right? So how many space reserved for product name? How many? 10 spaces. So I write like this. It's a string, right? And what is the value of that string? Product name. But how many space do I need to reserve? Let's write 10. So I will write over here percentage 10s. Correct? Okay. Then besides that, I want to write the price. So this is the string. This is a hard coded string. So will come as a double quote. Then we will write a concat. Then again besides that, what will we write? Percentage. How many s over here? 5 is sufficient. 5s. And what is the name of that string? Price. Now the next line, what will we display? Tie, right? So how many space do we need to reserve for tie? 10, right? And this is 500. The 500 is integer, and you can say 500. Next, now let's copy this and keep on pasting. So belt 700 and 10s. Same 1500. Total 2700. Now, you want the tie towards the left or towards the right? So write over there minus. If you want it towards the left hand side, write minus. Write minus. And where do you want the price? If I want the price like this, price I guess should be ideally like this. 5 spaces. Price should have been I guess like this. This is better for price, correct? zeros because it's easy to calculate. So price is going towards the reserve five spaces, but take it towards the right. So here I'm not giving a minus. I'm keeping it plus only. Correct? Okay. Where is this price displaying? This is towards the left, right? So this will be minus five. Okay. Now this is in the display bill function. Now I go inside the main and I just go and call this function from here. Let's see how it displays the bill for me. Got it? Yes, no, maybe. What if I would have done what if I would have done over here minus 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 what would have happened over here? Product name aligned towards the right side. Okay, so you mean to say it will align like this. Left side, no, minus means left side. Minus means left. So five reserve five spaces for the integer and align it left. So reserve five spaces and align it towards the left aligned. Correct? So let's save and let's run it. Left aligned. Correct? But I want it right aligned, so just remove the minus. Okay? Save and run. It comes over here. Okay? To the price. So let's say if it can help us to add those. So what they're trying to say is use the dollar rupee symbol over here. You can replace dollar. So is there any predefined setting in format function to add dollar symbol? Manually, you can add the currency. Use number dot format. See, it is using currency format dot format. Get currency instance local dot USC. So when you get local dot US, it gives you the US local currency, and you're formatting this as per the local US currency. Getting it? Let's try to check this out. This is looking interesting. Okay, so you have to import this local from which package? Oh, yeah, okay. So you are using two classes, right? Number format over here, okay, and local is going as a parameter to that class. So you have to import both the classes. So let's copy this code and check. So if I try to change local dot India, will it write? Okay, so let's write that function all over again. Or just copy paste it over here and comment out. Just write a new function that we have all the code available. Will new, and I'll take this code from chat GPT into the new bill. Okay, you do control shift O. Control shift O, it will import all the necessary classes over here. Now we will invoke plug and play. Okay, now we will do plug and play. Earlier which function was being called? display bill. Now what will we call? So this is called as plug and play technique. You remove one and you plug the other one. Save. Let's run and check if this works well. See, it's showing dollar, right? And dollar 500.00. Okay. So this is which local currency? US. Let's check if we have. So we have Canada, China, Chinese, Italian. Okay. We are using JDK 1.8, right? Okay. So what was the release date of JDK 1.8? Release date of JDK 1.8. What is it? Release date of JDK 1.8. It was 2014. Okay. And when did India start using the rupee icon? Okay. So the rupee icon was adapted. This rupee icon, right? This one. It was finalized when 2013, and the Unicode of that was made in 2013. So JDK 1.8, if it that local class has the symbol of Indian currency, I guess they haven't added into JDK 1.8. So if I do local dot, or see various countries you can use: Japan, Korea, Taiwan, US, UK. So there is no Indian currency isn't showing over here. Italian is showing, German. Let's say German. So let's see if it displays the currency. What German uses? Pounds, euros. Okay, so here is, so this is a class and these are all constants. Like how we have made a string constant over here and we are using them directly with the help of the class name. That variable is public, static and final, right? And it is, so if it is, and we write the final in a capital. So here just by looking at the, so this class, if I go over here control and click on it, see it shows me public, static, final, public, static, final, public, static and final. So they make a separate class for all these variables, and from there we can use, these are all inbuilt classes. Okay, so don't dive deep as of now, not required, but you can just try to add the dollar symbol or the local currency symbol. Okay? So what it was telling in the previous chat, that you add the dollar. So it was telling that you display it as a string. Okay, so this was not a good practice. It was telling you display it as a string and then you can add the dollar like this. This isn't looking attractive. But if I want the currency in the proper format, so if I have to say 10 lakh, so if someone purchases some property and the property value is 10 lakh, how do we write a check in India? We'll write like this, right? 10 lakh means like this. Yes or no? Is that invisible, guys? But in American style, they do in thousands. So this is thousand, then thousand, thousand. So a comma will come after every thousand. So this becomes what? 1 million, right? And then if you want thousand, 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 this becomes 1 billion. Thousand, 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 this becomes 1 trillion. So they will always deal in thousands. So if someone has a package of, this is his annual income, let's say over there. So so we will say that it is 2 point. lakh dollars per annum, right? 2.5 LPA. But what he will say? He will say $250,000. He will say my package is $250,000, and this is the average income of a 6 to 7 years experienced Java developer in the state. 250,000 USD. Multiply it with 85. See what you get. What figure comes up? What's the figure coming up? 2 crores. So if India will say 2 crores 12 lakhs, so we'll say like this, right? 2 crores 12 lakhs. But we what will the American say this? He will say like this. That will be what? 2.1, 21 million, 21 million is earning per annum. Am I getting this? What I'm trying to say. So that's why this. So if we try to increase the figure, okay. So let's try to increase the figure and let's make it 20, and then let's write the figure and see where it puts the commas. Okay? So if I say 10 lakh rupees, okay. So the tie was costing 10 lakh, okay. There might be people in the world who might be wearing a 10 lakh rupees tie. So 10 0 0 0 0. Okay. So now let's check how it formats this 10 lakh with the US currency zone. So I am very much confident that it will put a comma after every thousand. It will put a comma after every thousand. Got it? So 10 lakh is called as 1 million. Okay. So this is what this local class is doing, and it's coming from which package? From the util package. Okay. Maybe if we have used the latest version of JDK, so this is my in Java 1.8. If I would have switched to Java 17, maybe they would have added Indian also. Let's say. So if you want to switch to a new version of JDK, install the JDK, right click, go to build path, go to configure build path. Okay. Uh, Check your library over here. This is 1.8. Click on edit it and check if you have any alternate JDKs. Yes, you have 17. Finish, apply, and close. Okay, I hope I've changed my Java compiler version also. I've changed my Java compiler version. Compiler is still showing 1.8. So let's change it to 17, not 1.7. Apply, close, yes. And now let's see if we have a Indian currency in this latest JDK of 1.7. Where did it go? Local. Okay. So now let's say local dot Canada Italian. Still showing the same. It's not for the same class. ISO country code. What is ISO country code? Now, does every country have a country code? What? So 1L. The method as then what does it take as a parameter? If There is a country code which we can specify. Then it is telling ISO country code. Maybe I can check if how do you put the Indian currency over here. So you can ask ChatGPT only. So it can be of good help in such cases. Hmm. How do I display Indian currency logo? Okay, it is telling that you can system.println this string slash u20b9 directly. No, Unicode for it is 20b9. Is it there in the local class? Is directly available in the local. Okay, it's saying new local. See, this is how it is telling. India local. Currency.get symbol India local. Works in Java 7 and above. Works in which JDK? Are all there, guys? Why Java 7? Because the logo was finalized in 2013 and JDK 8 was released in 2014. So means 2007 onwards, those JDK which were released after 2013, that has the support of this Indian currency. So it is telling you can use this way. Currency symbol if you want dollar. Currency symbol if you want dollar. Indian local it is telling. So local imported. Make a new local and it's saying you can use this EN and IN and then convert it into a currency, and then from currency you can call the get symbol function. So we'll have to do some workaround to achieve. Okay, so if the client has a specific requirement, you will have to do a workaround to achieve that requirement. So let's try to copy and paste this and new bill pro. So and now we'll call the new bill pro. So, and see how we can get this done. So what is it telling? We need to use these two. So number format. We will not use number format now. We will use the currency now. This is a class control shift O and currency using imported from util. Okay, so lot util has a lot of support for these tasks. And now currency. Now I need to use what? Currency dot get symbol. Okay, you wanted INR or you wanted the symbol. So you want the symbol, right? Not the currency code. So we'll say where's the amount? Where are we writing the amount after that? So where are we writing the amount after that? This will just give me this. So if I say 500, where do I write the amount after that? This goes in the string.format function. No, we also need to write the amount, right? Okay, so we'll just put the code over here. Let's say as of now 5,000, 8,000, 10,000, 15,000, and see if we can get the exact syntax as to how to play around with it. So lots of things we'll have to go and to and fro. You're close, but the syntax. So you have to concat that. So it's taking it into a string format. It's taking that into a string format then. You get the symbol and then you concat that with the 500. So 15s and 20s. This will require a lot of work around. It will require a lot of research to do because you are doing individual, okay? So they want it in as a string over here. So they are asking us to concatenate after the local whatever amount you are giving. They are asking us to concatenate that amount because we have to pass as a string over here. So 5,000, 15,000, 1 lakh, 10 lakh. Let's save this and let's run and check this. Okay, so it's showing like this. It is not showing any comma after every thousand. Is that making sense, guys, to you all? But here it is returning me a string over here. It is returning me a string. So if I have a function, let's say, if I have a function get tie price, okay, try to understand what I'm trying to do. Get tie price, and which returns me an integer. It returns me a integer, public static integer, and it returns me 5,000. Okay. Now if I want to call this function, so if I call this function, it will give me what? Integer value. Now what do I do to convert that into a string? So we have the string wrapper class, string dot okay, so we'll have to use the integer dot to string, you see, and like this. So if I still want the data into an integer value, you can say like this, use the integer wrapper class and convert that integer to a string, because these are prices. This will always be in numerical format. So there are a lot of workarounds which you all can do to achieve the task. See, the output is still 5,000. Getting it? So if you still want it as a number, what you can do then? This is 15,000, right? This is as a number you want it. So you can say integer dot to string of 15,000. similarly of 1 lakh and similarly for 10 lakh. So there are lot of workarounds available. You have to just figure it out as to how you would want to display it. So see, I have still maintained it as an integer still, and I'm doing my task over here. So if you're fetching from the database and database is returning you an integer value, you can still convert that to a string and then you can display it into your local currency also. And it is also then JDK 1.8, but it is saying JDK 1.7 onwards, right? So let's switch back to our older JDK and check if JDK 1.8 also supports it. Select your in your module path, select your library, go and edit, and it will show you all the JREs you have. I have JDK 1.8 also, JRE 1.8. I'll finish it, apply, close, and right click and run again. It should still show me what happened. Okay, I did not change the. See, when you get this major minor errors, if you all observe, if you get this, no, anytime major minor, if you can get this, you see this 52 and 61. So this is because I did not change the compiler entirely. So I should have gone and changed. So you have to go and change your compiler properly. So I did not. I just changed it over here. I should have gone to the compiler and then changed here also. Now this error should go. Run as Java. Now it is showing me rupees. See, it is not showing me the. So the symbol is not there in the 1.8. 1 point symbol, it is showing what? RS. Okay, you getting it? So this is what research demands. That when I say do a research, this is what it demands, that you should know which JDK was supporting it now. And if I want the answer, so this is what even the JDK versions can do for. The code is the same, but the JDK version which we are using. So now I'll go back and edit this and go to this JDK 17. Do it from here also, finish it, and then do it from here also, so that there is no major minor error. Now do it 17 over here, apply and close. Yes. And now right click and run. Now it should show you the symbol. Is that making sense to you all? So JDK versions also impact, and I have still maintained the integer value. Okay, so try to be customer centric, because customer will always return this value as an integer, right? Or as a double. So we cannot say that okay, we'll take it as a string. The way Chat GPT showed over here. See, what is this taking this as a string? So you are expecting the customer to return you the price as a string. Okay, so this is not appropriate. So again, I did a workaround on it, and we still maintained it as a number value, but still converted to a string. Am I understood? So if you are doing data science or some data processing, wherein a lot of data is being returned to you, so the format of the data will be predefined. You will have to adjust your code as per the data. You cannot tell the client that please send me the pricing as strings. He'll say, how will I send a price as a string? Price will always be a double or a float or an int value. So we have these wrapper classes to convert from one type to another. Should not be a problem. Am I understood, guys? And see how to use built-in classes. So these are all your predefined classes. Okay. Once you know the use case, see, use Chat GPT as a slave. use chat gpt as your slave, as your servant, don't make it your master. So now we are dictating terms to chat gpt as to how I want it, and whatever it is returning, I am not taking everything. So that also I am trying to convert it to my format, which my client expects it. What people do is they put the question on the chat gpt, and whatever answer chat gpt gives, they paste it blindly without understanding. So what chat gpt will give you, we'll have to customize that. So if we, that is a skill which we need to learn. So sir, I got the semi cooked code, but I had to still complete the code. So displaying the fries as string is not making any sense, so we still had to convert this into an integer value, so which we have done over here. So this is looking proper now. Okay, so we started with this format, wherein we were displaying string.format twice. Initially, if you observe, we were displaying string.format twice, and we were concatenating it. Where is that? See over here, initial, in the first bill I printed. See over here, string.format once, string.format twice. So it is telling why are you doing that. Directly you can do it over here. Directly give the format over here, in which format you want it. The space is there over here, and I'll add the space. So 15 spaces towards the left, I'll write the name. 20 spaces towards the right, I'll write the price. Getting it? If I would write over here minus minus minus, what would happen? Any guesses? Yes, but which function are we calling? Which function have we plugged in? We plugged in new pro. So better we make changes in new pro over here, right? So things is that you got to understand the concept clearly. Instead of by hearting it, understanding. So now this will align it towards the left, but that will not make sense to me. This is not the way we write. Because you can't do arithmetic like this. You cannot add 5 with 1 1 1. So arithmetic, we have to align it over here. Okay. So many things can be done using this format function. Okay. Initially, I just started with the substitution of variables, but that is not the only end of it. You can add currencies. You can add in which country code you want to display it. Okay. Okay. Now, if I want it in some other currency, so let's see, is US available? Okay. I'm just thinking loud to myself. This is just a calculated guess I am doing. This is a right click and just check. Let's say if it shows US, and it does. Okay, getting it, guys? Yeah. So like this, you all can check it out. So this is what I did today, and there are many more string functions. Replace. Okay, these are I guess straightforward. These are very straightforward functions. You all can practice by yourself also. So if I have a string, okay, player name, and I want to replace the Singh with a Kumar, and they make it Mahendra Kumar Dhoni. How will I do that? Pname dot, as I do a dot, I have a replace. Okay, and see, it is telling you the old character sequence with the replacement. So what do you replace? What do you want to replace with what? So which will come first, Singh or Kumar? Same, because old will come first, right? So what will you say? I want to replace Singh with what? Kumar. Okay. And if you want a new string to be made over there, okay, new name. And now if you sys out new name, and if you sys out the p name, so let's check the difference. Mahendra Singh Dhoni, Mahendra Kumar Dhoni. Making sense? Okay. What would happen if this string would not be there? Is this string there now, which I am trying to replace? So let's check what happens at that time. So it is not doing anything. If it is there, it is replacing it, else it is not replacing it. Correct? So what does this return? What does this function return? Let's check. What does this function return actually? So if I sys out and go and check what does this function return. So it returns me the let me comment out everything. So what does the replace function return? It returns you the new string. Okay, it returns you a new string. So if you cname dot replace, what will it give you? It will give you a after the colon. What is the return type? And after the hyphen, what is in which class it is? Which is a method of which class? String. String. Okay, that's why I'm making a new reference to point to it, so I can have both old name and new name. If I would have done like this, if I would have done like this, any guesses what would have happened behind the scenes? Any guesses what would happen behind the scenes? Yes, absolutely correct. Pinpoint correct. So now if I run this, I will get Mahendra Kumar Dhoni, and this string is now unreferenced. You cannot reference it because we have shifted the reference from the old string to the new string. Okay, so you can use reuse the reference, or you can make a new reference also. Is that making sense to you all? So it's all about your